Seveyeyo, Omano Seriyeyo, Eya Seta Ose, Omako Branetre, Omano Seveyeyo, Omano Seriyeyo, Eya Seta Ose, Omako Branetre.
Good day, fellow Ghanaians. My name is Abena Busia, and as the ambassador, on behalf of all the officers and staff of the Ghana Mission in Brasilia, I bring you our 65th Independence Anniversary greetings. When I first thought of this message, I was certain of what there was to celebrate, and that certainty has been reinforced by the events of this momentous week, when once more, as happened a century ago, and on many occasions since, we witnessed events in Europe threaten to alter the nature of the world in which we all live. These events confirmed in me that we need to celebrate most, after 65 years, the fact that here in Ghana, the constitution of our Fourth Republic has held without either internal or external threats. The events in the Ukraine this week have been a salutary reminder of how hard it is to establish peacefully an independent and secure democratic nation with a flourishing and free civil society. When President John Agyekum Kufuor presided over the 45th independence celebrations 20 years ago in 2002, he was the first head of state completely unconnected to the military since 1965, when President Kwame Nkrumah celebrated the 5th anniversary under the banner of our one-party First Republic. In the 25 years between 1967 and 1992, our independence celebrations had been presided over by military men, General Ankra, General Achampong, and Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. The presence of General Achampong at the head of events in 1972 and Flight Lieutenant Rawlings a decade later in 1982 are singular staging points in our struggle for multi-party democratic rule. By March of 1972, Achampong had overthrown the democratically elected civilian government of the Second Republic, headed by my father, Professor Kofi Abrifa Busia. That coup of January 13, 1972 was 50 years ago this year. By March of 1982, Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, then as leader of the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council, had, on December 31st, 1981, overthrown the democratically elected civilian government of our Third Republic, headed by Dr. Hila Liman. President Rawlings was to be the last of our military leaders to head independence celebrations. By our 40th anniversary in 1997, he had retired to become the first of the civilian leaders of our Fourth Republic. And we have had civilian heads of state ever since. Since 2002, every March, our celebrations have been presided over by the Presidents John Agyekum Kufuor, John Atta Mills, John Dramani Mahama, and today, for the 6th successive year, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So, why this somber history lesson on this joyous occasion? This history lesson is to remind us of the difficult path we have walked to attain this present peace and relative stability. And we need not look so far afield as Europe to appreciate how precious and fragile this peace can be. A simple reflection on the turbulence this last few years in the region of which we are at the center should make clear how tenuous our stability might be. Reflecting on events in neighboring Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, even Niger and Guinea-Bissau over just the last 2 years, make me suggest that for all the difficulties we currently face, we can perhaps learn to celebrate what looks like the miracle of this, our Fourth Republic. We know our struggles. It has been a hard-won miracle. One sign of that miracle is that today our economy remains resilient. But should it falter, it is our very young population which will bear the strain. So, failure is not an option. To become a Ghana beyond aid is not a simple task, but the context in which we take up that struggle matters. Though our first, second, and third republics all ended without elections, over the last 25 years, our political story has been different. In 8 elections, we have changed the mandate between political parties 3 times and had transitions between 5 peacefully elected presidents. All 8 elections were indeed hotly contested, 1 even boycotted, 2 disputed all the way to the Supreme Court, but we have managed to abide by the decisions of a citizenry supported by the judiciary, and the soldiers have stayed in their barracks. I want to emphasize this point because it seems we're in danger of forgetting our history. It seems some of our young people in the Twitter sphere are even this week lauding what they see as the tough rule of military might, clearly not knowing what it means to live with the daily threat of state-sanctioned violence in a culture of silence and fear. Before we applaud possibly unwanted rulers striding through other countries, we should pause and talk to those who have suffered such regimes in our own and have been fortunate enough to survive. If our children do not know our history, the responsibility is ours to shoulder. And it is also our responsibility to listen to their concerns, for they too have much to share. It is they who are changing the world. And as we want and need them to share and understand our pasts, they want and need us to share and understand their visions of our future. In particular, I speak here as ambassador accredited to all the countries of continental South America, where, if I have learnt nothing these last few years, I've learnt that here they really do care about our story, Africa's story. And in some countries such as Suriname and Guyana, Ghana's story in particular. It has been humbling to learn how much we represent a beacon of hope and an idea of home. A few months ago, many of us were asked by our ministry to take part in webinars in our different countries to acquaint people with the various aspects of our pending Homeland Return Bill. And the target audience was not only children of Ghanaians who only recently left the motherland, it was the historical Afro-descendants of older diasporas as well. We anticipated participants from places such as the United States, Jamaica, and of course Barbados, whose Prime Minister is our guest of honor this weekend, or in the countries we here represent, Colombia and Brazil. So imagine our surprise when we discovered Afro-descendants and indigenous peoples even in countries such as Bolivia and Peru, eager to hear what Ghana had to say to the world about becoming a home for the scattered peoples of Africa. They too are eager to hear our story and to share theirs with us, because our lives are increasingly interconnected in this world which is changing dramatically, not year by year, but day by day, triggered by everything from climate change and environmental degradation to wars, rumors of wars, and digitized fake news. So, this desire to connect is crucial. Our digital world has made some kinds of quick connection easier, but it has also highlighted the difference between digital connection and interpersonal communication. And we need a reaching out that shares understanding, that brings us back together as a nation and as a scattered African people. We need to share our stories to appreciate the way we each live our lives, individually and collectively, to create a sense of our shared humanity and the common need for all forms of security and peace. History has tried to separate us, but that severing has not been completely successful. One of the most enlightening things that has happened to me in my stay here is being able to see the enduring legacy of West Africa in the cultures of South America, to recognize familiar traits and tracing their roots to their origins in our own cultures. Ghanaian cultural life is celebrated around the world. Our Idinkra symbols such as Sankofa or patterns of our kente cloth are becoming international symbols of unity and belonging. This opens great opportunities. Our programs such as Beyond the Year of Return are attracting people to Ghana from the African diaspora around the world. We remain a hospitable people, and it is our youth whose energies and vision will transform these aspirational programs from inspirational sounding ideas to lived realities. Our youth, when given the chance, are proving themselves resilient and inventive. So I urge us all today, with our fortitude in adversity, our desire for prosperity, our love of freedom and justice, and above all, our love of peace, to celebrate the road we have walked together this last 65 years, so we can all reach a better future for all of us. God bless our homeland, Ghana.